Hey, you all, and good morning. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live within Motel Trees. And I was just laying in bed a little bit ago, waking up just a little bit half asleep, when I heard the booming, thunderous voice of Paul Bunyan, all the way from across the street. Heard his voice greeting people to Trees of Mystery, the roadside attraction across the street. The whole reason I stayed here at Motel Trees is I wanted to stay at Trees of Mystery. And of course, it's been a wonderful stay. Nice, clean hotel room here across the way. But to wake up to the voice of Paul Bunyan definitely made it worthwhile. So let's go see what Paul Bunyan's up to. Please follow me. Now, there is nothing like waking up to Paul Bunyan. But I think before we head over there to Trees of Mystery, we're going to get a little breakfast over here at the Blue Ox Cafe. So here is the Blue Ox. See the elk head up there. Well, this section over here is interesting. Now, from what I understand, this used to be the Klamath Forest Cafe. And in this section, you can see this is an underwater view. You can actually see people's legs down there. Now, apparently, they used to have the bottom of ducks on the ceilings. You can see some of the patches where the ducks used to be. I guess it was recently renovated. Alright, looking at the menu here, I think the only thing to get here at the Blue Ox Cafe is the Blue Ox omelet. And here is a breakfast fit for an ox. I got the Blue Ox omelet, added a little bit of avocado to the top. Got ham in it, as well as cheese. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That's good. The avocado adds quite a bit. And I am ready to go face those trees. And here we are at Trees of Mystery. Been dreaming all night of coming over here. And of course, that mighty Paul Bunyan, his Blue Ox babe, hearing his deep baritone voice this morning greeting people to Trees of Mystery.
Trees of Mystery. Now we hope while folks are visiting with us today that they'll have the notion to go for a walk and stand at the top of our mountain, a place that we call Ted's Ridge, and get themselves a real bird's eye view.
Now it looks like Babe here is undergoing some repairs. It says being 35 feet tall and weighing 30,000 pounds, take a toll on an ox after 73 years. Please be patient. Wish Babe a speedy recovery as he undergoes some much needed structural repairs. Wonder what sort of structural repairs they're going to be doing to old Babe. And this is indeed one of the larger Paul Bunyans you will find anywhere in the country. Paul Bunyan welcomes you to Trees of Mystery. Weighs 30,000 pounds, 49 feet. Its concrete base weighs 800,000 pounds. Boots are 10 feet high. This is a big old Bunyan. Look, I can stand on one of his toes.
Welcome to the park.
Now, when I think of Paul Bunyan, I don't necessarily think of California. I think of Maine, think of Minnesota, but it only makes sense. They have the biggest trees here in the Redwoods, so they need the biggest lumberjack Also, this particular Paul Bunyan has so much chest hair.
Now we know that there might be more than a few down there that have yet to put a substantial amount of food in their body today, all for the sake of getting out there before anybody else on Vacation Highway. And now you're here with an empty belly and need something to propel you up our walking trail. Right across the highway, you'll find the Blue Ox Cafe.
Oh yeah, it was
where
good.
They are just about to flip the switch into lunch. And now you can find yourself a Paul Bunyan burger and a side of Babe's truffle tots. The Blue Ox Cafe. It's what you're having for lunch.
He's waving.
They part of the family now.
Hear his hands squeaking as he waves. Here is a trail map of trees of mystery. Of course, we stayed over here at Motel Trees, ate breakfast at what used to be known as the Forest Cafe, now called the Blue Ox Cafe. We sat and enjoyed the voice of Paul Bunyan. And now we will set out into the actual trees. You wander through, see interesting trees all along the way. Quite a lengthy path here. There is like a chairlift or a sky car there that will take you up to the top of Ted's Ridge there. Some other interesting sculptures as well. It is a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's check out the Trees of Mystery. Let's head in to the woods. It is $30 for me to get in. And no rushing through. You got to take this walk nice and easy. Make sure to appreciate everything you see. We start with the Mary Lee Thompson Smith Commemorative Garden. Oh, look at that. Giant squirrel eating giant acorns. Now, the first of these strange and, dare I say, mysterious trees is the elephant tree here. I believe that's sticking out right there. I think that's the trunk. Well, I guess this is the trunk. This is the elephant nose. The trunk. I'm silly. This is the upside down tree. A tree that has two trunks and root structures. One tree horizontal, one tree vertical growing together. So there's one tree. And I guess here growing out of the side is the second tree. The horizontal tree. It says that the horizontal tree always looking for light. So it has grown this way, sideways, so that it can reach up here and try to get to the light. So this is the fallen giant here. It says it sprouted 3,000 years ago. And then this is another tree that's sort of growing out of the fallen giant. They actually had to cut it off because apparently it was dangerous. They were worried it was going to fall on somebody. And the base of this tree is nature's underpass. You've got to crawl through this hole in the bottom of the tree. Yeah, we're in nature's underpass. And you gotta be careful about like bumping yourself on these redwoods because they are so hard. It basically feels like you're bumping like just rock. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't know I'd be crawling on my knees today. Ow. Oh, this is really painful. Oh, the things I do for nature. Ow. Yeah, there's gravel. Gravel on the ground here. To crawl my knees through gravel in that little hole. Oh, it's painful. Oh, these are the trees you have seen in Ripley's, believe it or not. I believe it. Coming over here to the back of the fallen giant. Let's see those crazy wood designs in the bottoms of these trees. You know, they're unique, very unique compared to other trees because their roots work a different way. Instead of going straight down, they kind of go out. You can hear Paul's thundering voice from down there. This is pointing at a redwood burl. This is one of nature's mysteries. Burls are famous for their beautiful grain. No one knows why they grow. So I guess burls are, if I understand correctly, kind of like big tree tumors. The 3-in-1 tree. Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3 trees in one. That's about the lightning tree here.
Gazing up the
There we
hill
go.
of these guardians of the forest, you will see many that defy the laws of nature. See the tree shaped like a lightning bolt, appropriately called the lightning tree. The redwood burl you saw growing on the side of the tree is a large commercial size, which grows only 1 in 25,000 trees, and are much in demand by wood craftsmen for their beautiful and unique grain.
This is the Trinity tree. I think this is another one that has 3 trees in one. I mentioned yesterday the Redwoods was where they filmed the Endor scenes in Star Wars, where the Ewoks live. Well, here we have pretty much a Ewok village up here, a walkway between the trees. So let's ascend to the Redwood Canopy Trail. Oh, and there we go. There's Yoda right there. May the forest be with you. Well, here we go. So there's 8 bridges going here from tree to tree. Yeah, I feel like an honest to goodness Ewok up here. All right, you made it to the next redwood. We'll just keep going from here. We are way high up here. If you peek down from the bridge, see how high we are up here. All the little Ewoks down there. Man, I all of a sudden just got a little nervous. Oh boy. Oh, it is gorgeous though, the view up here. Just being amongst the tops of the redwoods is pretty amazing. So you start heading down back to earth from here. Down the spiral staircase. And here we go. That was pretty exhilarating. This is the cathedral tree here. Up to the pulpit here. And worship at the altar of the tree. And it's kind of nice being back on solid ground. So we are headed into the Forest Experience Trail. So this section is a loop They guide you through an area that was logged in the 1950s. So these are younger redwoods, the ones that have sprouted since the 1950s. We've seen a lot of big trees. Guess it's time to see some baby trees. And here we have the Interpretive Center.
Well, this was with the television group that...
Yeah, the quote by Joyce Kilmer there. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. And then a lot of information here about trees and flowers. We have a little exhibit here on pine cones, different types of pine cones. And over here we have the Brotherhood tree. Well, this is a big tree. Did this grow since the 1950s? That looks incredibly massive. But yeah, the Brotherhood tree, dedicated to the brotherhood of man, all races, creeds, and colors. Now that's a tree that I can stand behind. This is probably traumatic to all the trees out here, but they have an exhibit on chainsaws out here in the woods. Chainsaws and log gear. Look how big that chainsaw is. I don't even know if Leatherface would be able to carry that around. It's actually a chainsaw sticking out of the tree here, or out of the stump at least. Brrr, brrr. Goodbye, you 2,000-year-old piece of wood. Oh yeah, look at this one here. Yeah, I don't even know how to operate that. It's just no touch. Don't grab one of these chainsaws and go to town. Oh, I'm shaking this. It's like a sloshy noise. There's still gasoline in there. And this is, really interesting. Redwoods are kind of like super trees. It says they're protective against fire because they have neither pitch nor resin. So a lot of what makes other trees flammable is just not present in the redwoods. So you don't hear a lot about fires or forest fires in this part of the country. And it says also they are impervious to disease and insects, which is really interesting because, I've been seeing a lot of these redwoods. You see a lot of the fallen trees or stumps, and they're not like rotting like a lot of other trees would. Trees disintegrate pretty quickly, when they're chopped down, but they just like stick around. They almost feel like rock rather than wood. And this is what they call the Sky Trail. They have a gondola lift that will take you to the top of the mountain. So let's hop aboard the Sky Trail. Yeah, that thing flies. Okay, my chariot awaits. Oh, doors are closing. I think we're gonna rocket up the hill. There we go. This is a lot faster than almost any gondola I've ever been on. Woohoo! Look at that. Flying through the forest. Through the tops of the redwood. Oh, we're slowing down so we get up closer to the top. Hello! Yeah, we're getting pretty high up here. All the way to the top of the mountain. We're way up here. And we have arrived at the station. And from here we climb up to the observation deck. Now on a clear day, you can see all the way to the ocean. But it is a foggy day here in the redwoods, so we can just enjoy the fog. So to get down, you either take the sky ride back down or you walk the Wilderness Trail, which the lady at the bottom said that it takes about 1 hour to climb down the Wilderness Trail. It's just a straight trail down the mountain. And it is time to head back down the mountain. We begin our descent down the foggy mountain. Yeah, look how fast it flies down here. It's really more of a thrill ride than anything else. Yeah, we gotta get down there. There's more trees to see. And there we are, coming back into the station. Now this says, did you know? And actually, I did not know this. This is actually really interesting to me. Of course, redwoods are also called sequoia trees. And sequoia was a Cherokee that created the Cherokee written language. Of course, yeah, I knew who Sequoia was. You know, I live near Cherokee, North Carolina. I always assumed that he was named after the tree, but it turns out the tree was named after him. Now, this tree here, known as the Towering Inferno, it says in 1995 this tree caught on fire. And we talked about like the sequoias being resistant to fire, but apparently what happens is the inside will catch on fire and create like a natural chimney that and that kind of protects the trees around it from the fire spreading. I think a lot of the houses made of trees that we were at yesterday were made by burning out the centers because the outside is fire resistant and remains. But we have this ramp here. We can go get a closer look at the Towering Inferno. Yeah, from here we can actually look inside the tree here. And looking up, yeah, you can see how the inside is burned there. But the tree is still standing. This is the baby cathedral tree. We saw the big cathedral tree. This one's just a little baby. Give it a few thousand years and it'll be as big as the other one. Over top the trail here is the candelabra tree, where it has little mini trees coming out of it in the shape of a candelabra. And now we enter the Trail of Tall Tales. It says stories of Paul Bunyan and his friends. They're all sculpted with logger's chainsaw. So we kind of get to be introduced to the Paul Bunyan extended universe.
I am, of course, Johnny Inkslinger.
That's Johnny Inkslinger there. I guess he writes down all the tales. He's got his pen connected directly to the ink.
You know, whenever you find forest, you will eventually find loggers to help the wheels of progress remain in motion.
And here are scenes from when Paul Bunyan was a baby. He was already using an axe. His looks like his cradle was a boat, and his pull toy was a big trailer carrying logs. There's Paul's book learning, reading his first book. Paul's big fish there. Oh, he's fishing for a sperm whale. Oh, then here we get into the extended universe. This is Jack the Back. This is old Red Thumb Robbie. See him plucking a redwood tree out of the ground. And who can forget Max the Axe? And here Babe is found. Paul finds Babe. Apparently Babe originally fit in Paul's palm. There's Digger, Paul's dog. This is the Rat Pack. Looks like they Cut down trees on the backs of giant rats. This is Side Roller, the snake. This giant wooden mosquito here. Mosquito Rex Redwoodius. I guess the mosquitoes are so big out here that they could literally impale you. His bloodsucker there is like a narwhal tusk. He's getting more strange and abstract. This is the Super Duper Snooper. There's a square worm down there. And this is Sourdough Sam, the camp cook. You have the table setting there with Paul's big knife and fork and giant salt and pepper shakers. And this is who serves the food. Cookie, the world's fastest waiter. And this is a pooped logger. Guess he's worn out from all the logging. This is Cathhook Pete Peavy. Mural of the bunkhouse. Uh-oh. Looks like a bunkhouse brawl has broken out. Over here's Paul's Swiss Army knife. Shaving a haircut. I guess they actually cut their hair and shave their beards with axes. Now, we've seen a lot of big people here in Paul's lumber camp, but these are the little people. It says these are the people that put the moss on the north side of the trees. That's a big squirrel. And just when you thought we were done being introduced to Paul's friends, here is Choker Charlie, Two-Time Tony, Short Haul Hansen, and Bull of the Woods. You gotta love lumberjack names. Although I do wonder why there's no mention of Buttcut Billy Christmas. We do have J.P. Stumpy Woods. And this is Mama Bear and Flapjack. And the Native American there with his canoe. And it says this is Paul's girlfriend. The logger's dream must be Lucette. And the I Love You carving has been entirely desecrated by people carving their names in it. I guess they loved each other so much they didn't care about destroying this piece of wood. And right here at the trail exit, the man himself. Oh, we have another timeline tree. This tree looks like it started around the Crusades. There is lived through the Magna Carta, the Pilgrims, and American independence. And we exit through the gift shop. Oh, watch out. We've got some sort of mountain lion over here by the waterfall. Now, I just started my mini block collection yesterday, and how do I say no? How do I say no to this? You got the Paul and Babe, specifically the Trees of Mystery version. You can even see the Paul's trademark chest hair there. Yeah, I think the collection's already starting to spiral out of control. Got some Bigfoot items over here. They have a framed Bigfoot footprint. You got some plushy Pauls. Oh, there's some friendly raccoons. We do have some Trees of Mystery stickers and some pins. Oh, I may have to get one of these pins. These are Paul Bunyan's playing cards. They're much bigger than normal playing cards. The Paul and Babe salt and pepper shakers. Some snow globes. Yeah, a lot of Babes. Different varieties. Oh yeah, there's a whole bevy of different types of plushy Babes. Oh, I think Jen would love these. Oh, this case over here has some of the old merchandise they no longer carry. You used to be able to get a Trees of Mystery beanie there. See the wooden Paul. Yeah, some of these little books they'd sell. And inside the museum here is the End of the Trail Museum, Native American museum. Now they have different sections here for different indigenous people. Look at all these different animal hides. There is a black bear, a grizzly bear. Looks like those are walrus tusks. Polar bear hide, brown bear hide, and a wolf hide. And this is the region we're currently in, the northwestern California. Southwest section, you've got the Cochina dolls. It says, "We are old, please do not touch. I will keep my hands to myself." And look over here, we have two pressed penny machines. A modern pressed penny machine with Characters Unlimited, a Zoltar cousin here, modeled after Paul Bunyan, who can grind your pennies. And then the old school machine here. Now they have different designs. Some of the designs are similar, so I think I'll get some from this one and some from this one. All right, let's give Paul our $1. And he's grinding.
Sorry. Is that your bag down here?
Oh, no penny. Listen, Paul, I'm going to give you this $1. I expect a penny in return. All right, the penny's locked and loaded. There it goes. There we go. He just stole $1. This one is quarter penny. There it goes. Oops. And there's our haul of mysterious pennies. And goodbye for now, Paul. I'm sure our paths will cross again soon. And just a couple miles down from Trees of Mystery, we reconnect with Mother Ocean. Stopped off here in Crescent City, California. Figure we go down to the beach. Said there might be some tide pools here. I'm not necessarily seeing any tide pools. It just may be the wrong time of day to come out here. We can actually see some of the sea life here. It does seem like it's very calm out here, at least compared to how the waves have been during the rest of my travels. And you can see some life listing around below the surface. And we do have some tide pools out here. One thing I'm looking for, and maybe I'll get a chance to see before the end of this trip, I want to see a starfish. Haven't seen any. There's literally a starfish over there. Right when I said that. Yeah, I was looking for starfish. While I'm sitting here waxing poetic about wanting to see a starfish, there's a starfish in the water. Right there. I guess mission complete. Let's see if there's a safe or logical way we can get over there to the starfish. I don't know. Come there we go. Yeah, there it is. Clinging to the rock. My little starfish. That worked out. The second the word starfish left my mouth, I literally saw the starfish. I can definitely see that tide coming in, so let's get out of here before my way out gets cut off. Notice this beach here, instead of sand, there's just a bunch of tiny pebbles all over the beach. Came out here to Battery Point in Crescent City. I was gonna check out the Battery Point Lighthouse over here. Apparently they do have a museum inside, but apparently I showed up too late. Not because they keep strange hours, but because you can only get there at low tide. This is actually a pathway or road that leads over there. But yeah, when the water's in, when the water comes in, you simply can't get over there. I mean, I guess you could swim or wade your way over there. And I actually thought about that maybe I could pull my shorts up and just walk across the water there. But if the tide's coming in, I don't know how deep it's going to be on my way back out. So probably gonna have to wait till next time. Next low tide, we'll come out here and visit the lighthouse. Okay, I think we're going to walk out on this jetty. We could do so, but it is at our own risk. It says between 2001 and 2021, 15 rescues were attempted. Most people made it. Unfortunately, 3 of them did not. I guess the concern with the jetty is that large waves could wipe over top the jetty. But today is a very calm day out here, so I think we should be fine. And you can see the lighthouse there, how the road takes you up to there. The road is currently covered in water. Some more starfish down there. Yeah, it's a starfish wonderland down here. Look at these giant things over here. What are these? It's like interesting shaped concrete sculptures. Looks like they're here to break the waves, I guess. You can just pile them up here and they'll stop those waves. But interesting. What would you call that? And it looks like we've reached the end of the jetty, at least the walkable portion. Yeah, just look at the piles of these things. I guess they're here to to break up the waves. Interesting. Well, time to head back to shore. Stopped off here in Smith River, California. And look at this. Now, this is not a shipwreck. This is a old Navy boat that has been poled onto the land. It sits here abandoned. It used to be a museum and gift shop. In fact, if you look real close, it's been painted over, but it does say gift shop on the nose of the boat. Yeah, a wonderful old boat. Seems like it would make a great museum. Hopefully it'll open up someday. So we have been on this Pacific Coast Highway road trip. Today it'll be 2 weeks, 14 days. We have been traveling up California 1 and 101, headed north along the Pacific Ocean. 14 days have all been spent in California. For the past 2 weeks, I've been driving up the California coast. Well, right here, that officially ends because we are moving into our second state. We're here in Oregon. Yeah, every day in California has been an amazing new adventure, but I'm very excited to enter a brand new state. And welcoming us to Oregon is this Welcome Center. Oh, unfortunately, the fun section of the Welcome Center has been closed. You can see Sasquatch there that you can put your face through. And who's this? Is this some sort of goat man? We can head down here and see the first beach in Oregon. So this is Crissy Field State Park. This already seems different from California. There's pine trees on the beach. Lots of driftwood too. I know the state lines are man-made creations, but yeah, this looks different from any beach that I've been on this trip so far. Look at all this driftwood. There is so much driftwood here. Over here you can see structures that people have made out of the driftwood. You know, what is this building? What is this building over here? I don't know what they were trying to make here. And over here it looks like there's a whole lake on the beach. Oh, look at this. Got a crab claw. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of little crab parts all over the beach. Yeah, see, these are crab parts. Coming back up from the beach. Little forested area here. Well, this is a nice little tranquil side forest. We are in Brookings, Oregon, where we're going to be spending the evening. And as I came into town, I noticed this giant grizzly bear dressed in a football uniform. He's got his football there in his claws, and look at his intense look at his face. We're going to be staying here tonight at the Pacific Sunset Inn. This is a pretty cool vintage feature. You can actually park in this garage, this covered area, right in front of your room. And let's do the grand reveal here. I got an actual key. And there we go. Okay. A nice little room here. Got a double bed. Look at the vintage looking refrigerator. They left out a couple of LaCroix. Oh, you gotta have that sealed toilet to know its quality. I love the design there on the sink. Very vintage. And a little bathtub. Yeah, I think this will do. This is like a family-run hotel, and I do want to stay in more, family-run small hotels. I've just had some bad experiences. This looks great. I've had some bad experiences. I had left my luggage, my entire suitcase, at a family-run hotel once. And it was my fault, obviously. I left it like a moron. But they outright refused to work with me in any way. I called them. I said, listen, I really need that. And I will pay whatever you need. I'll give you my credit card. Whatever you need to have it shipped, mailed. I'll eat the cost. Just, can you help me? And they said no. They weren't willing to help in any way. I was 6 hours away. I ended up having to get in touch with someone who lived in the area, and then they got it, and then they mailed it to me. But that's not neither here nor there. It's just a lot of times I do stay in chains because you kind of know what to expect. There's so many uncertainties out here on the long, lonesome road that sometimes it feels good to know what to expect when you get in at the end of a long night. Oh, well, that's another thing. Some of the family hotels, their office isn't necessarily open after a certain time. Most of the chains will have a 24-hour check-in. But, sometimes I come in, 12:30 at night, 1 a.m. And so in those cases, I usually try to make sure it's a chain, so I know that there will be someone waiting for me. But it's definitely a mixed bag with the mom and pops. You can get something terrible, but as you can see right here, you can get something delightful as well. A lot of it is research. If you want to stay at privately owned hotels, which I do recommend, you just need to do your research. You need to. A lot of times, I just don't have time to research the hotels. A lot of times, I do go by the star ratings, but there's a lot of things that I have to consider. Check-in time. Are they going to have Wi-Fi that I can rely on? So I haven't checked the Wi-Fi here yet. So fingers crossed, it does work. I've noticed recently in the last year or so, couple years, that Wi-Fi has in general been getting stronger at hotels. So it's not been something I needed to worry about all that much. I've had some bad experiences with hotel Wi-Fi before. But we are in Oregon. We have left California. We are in Oregon. We are going to continue. We're going to stay on Highway 101 for the rest of our trip. We're going to be going up the Oregon coast into Washington State. And then 101 gets a little weird in Washington. It starts to get all weird and windy. And I guess it doesn't go all the way to Seattle. I think it ends in Olympia, Washington. So that is where the official end of this road trip, the Pacific Coast Highway road trip, will be. But I'm excited. I'm excited driving the coast along these states. Something I haven't never just went straight up the coast, and some of these towns I've never been to before. So I'm really excited. Again, I love the fact that I'm getting a chance to fill in some of the blanks on my map. So a few little places here and there that I've not been to. I've been to 49 of the U.S. states, but there's little slices that I haven't had a chance to experience. So I'm really excited as I continue this road trip. We had a great day today. I woke up to the baritone of Paul Bunyan's voice welcoming people to Trees of Mystery. Had a wonderful time at Trees of Mystery, one of the greatest tree-based attractions out there. I've seen a lot of tree-based attractions over the last couple days, but had a great day today. The beauties of the coast and the Oregon coast, I swear, like I said, the humans make these unnatural divisions between what state is what state. But it really felt, I drove right over that Oregon state line, went to the first beach, and it just looked different. It just looked like Oregon. So, and I had been to the beach, one of the beach 10 miles down the road. I've been to the California beach, which, didn't necessarily look like an Oregon beach, but I don't know, I just found that interesting. But thank you guys so much for joining me on these adventures. Thank you guys so much that follow along every day. It does mean the absolute world to me. If you are new here, what I do is I travel around the United States. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, other fun stuff. We do fun road trips. I'll do a road trip through a specific area. I'll do themes road trips. We'll do a road trip from beginning to end of a certain road or highway. And currently on the Pacific Coast Highway heading up to Washington. If you'd like to help the channel out, consider subscribing. It does help out. If you want to help in other ways, there's always Patreon, $3 or more. We'll get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling souvenirs in the Etsy shop. Motel key fobs, press pennies, enamel pins, fun stuff. Doing personalized messages on Cameo. If you'd like to receive a special message from me that you can send yourself, to a friend, to a family member. I'm doing those on Cameo. Of course, all those things help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.